place to place, adding weight.
Thank you guys so much for having us. We love coming to your country. We love coming here to play music. It's one of our favorite places, it really is. So thanks for having us. We're very excited for our fans to hear the new record, Clancy. We put a lot of time into it, and I don't know. I think that we're just so honored to be in a position where we're able to continue to create and write songs. I think back to when I first started creating, we didn't know if anyone was going to hear it. And here we are in a different country talking about songs that haven't been released yet. It's just an amazing feeling.
We're excited to play here. We're playing here in Mexico tonight, and then we'll be back. And we've headlined in Mexico before. This will be our first time headlining in Latin America as well, which we love. So we're looking forward to it. And we'll probably just wear this hoodie the whole time.
I think that as we now have been playing for over 12, 13 years together now, we've learned the best way to tour. Sometimes you need breaks. Sometimes you need to be alone. But I will say that getting on stage and being able to play music with a bunch of people in the room that know that same song is one of the most amazing feelings, and it really does truly energize us. And so I would say that's one way that we keep our mental, is just honestly getting out in front of our fans.
I mean, I think it's safe to say that music kind of really impacted both of us in a really positive way when we were younger, young teenagers, and so just the act of playing music and creating with and sharing that is I think that's really beneficial mentally.
And chocolate.
I don't mind if it's lonely.
I think a lot of bands, they don't necessarily get to experience playing small shows. A lot of artists get thrust into a bunch of people very soon in their career. We take a lot of pride in being from playing small shows in our hometown. And even when we would go to new places for the first time, we always liked playing a small show first and working our way up with each venue in every city. And so for us to go back to playing a small show and being able to connect intimately with our fans in that way is, I don't know, it's a part of the fabric of who we are as a band, and something we don't want to forget. And we get paid billions of dollars to be here. I'm just kidding, we're not getting paid at all. I hope you guys get a lot of clicks.
Garcia for Tumusicahoy. I saw a few weeks ago that you delayed the release of the album because you want to make video clips for each song of it, and I want to know if we're gonna watch all the videos once you release the album, or we have to wait, and how are you involved in this creative process, in this making, and in direction or script or something?
Good question. We've released a few records now at this point, and what we found is we've learned a few things along the way. One is the first song on the record is very important. Feels like everyone kind of views the album through the lens of that first song. And when talking about perception and how people view a song or listen to a song for the first time, we like the idea of there being a video component with it, a visual, because we're not necessarily able to show all of the new songs live in a live setting. And we like using the medium of music videos to be artistic. So we took it upon ourselves to do a music video for every song on the record. And it turned out to be very expensive and a lot of time, very tiring. But I think that when it's done and we release the record and all the videos come out with it, it'll be exactly the way that we wanted to release a record all along. Josh directed a video actually. See, he directed the music video for Backslide, so he's the director over here. So.
Thank you. I think I did a really great job. We've been playing Overcompensate, which Tyler kind of said earlier that the first song off the record can really set the tone for the record. And I think that also applies to a live show. And so a lot of times our first song on the record is the first song of the live show. It may not always be that way, but that's how we've done it. And it's a really fun one to start a show. Because sometimes before a show, you know, there could be some nerves or whatever, and then you go out and play that first song, you kind of gauge how you're gonna feel throughout the show, how the crowd's gonna feel, and it's been really fun. I think we've only done it 3 times, but I look forward to playing that more on the Clancy tour.
I will say that on a flight here, I had my laptop open and I was listening to all the stems. So not to speak down to you, but in case you don't know, stems are the individual tracks inside of songs. And sometimes when you're working on music, you lose sight of all the little ingredients that go into songs. And I was familiarizing myself with all of those stems again and got really excited about a few songs, specifically Midwest Indigo and Oldie Station. These are songs that for me, when we were recording them, I was thinking, man, this is gonna be so fun live. I hope they like it. That's really what I kept thinking. I hope they like it because we're probably gonna be playing them. And if they don't, then that'll really suck. So those are 2 songs I'm excited about.
Place to place, adding weight.
I don't know what the future holds. It's hard to imagine life without music. Our relationship with music is creating it. So I'd like to think that we can get older and still write songs. But let's be honest, at some point, people are going to start to care less and less. Yes. Don't you say no to me. No, there's bands that I grew up loving, and I may not be familiar with their latest work. And we're aware of that as a band that's been able to do this for a long time. And so we hope that we just keep on creating things that are honest, no matter who's left to hear it. But that was a very good question. All these songs have been related to each other in the process. And I think at one point, I do want to be able to look back and be really proud. And that's the goal right now.
Well, I also think that a goal of ours from the beginning when we started making music, we agreed on a lot of things in life, and to talk about things in life that we're going through, or experiencing, or feeling. And when this storyline came along, it helped to have something to write from. But the idea was to not have to rely on that for every song. So though there's a lot of story, there's also still a lot of life happening in these records, and things not necessarily 100% tied to the story. I think as long as we're living, we'll all be going through things, and then I think that there are still things to talk about. Sometimes Tyler and I look at each other and wonder, now seeing everything that we went through and how difficult of a journey it can be, we wonder if, knowing that in the beginning, if we would have actually done it. But I think there was something that we both had in the very beginning, a couple things. One was ignorance of that, not knowing and not really caring. stand out, and hopefully people would like it, but we believe that it would. And then a work ethic too. And I think that when we met, that was something that we talked about too, which is just, like you said, Tyler was playing basketball in high school and just spent hours and hours a day shooting the basketball and getting better at it. And I think at that time I was probably playing drums, doing the same thing, spending hours, and working really hard. And so I think it's a combination of those things: it's hard work and belief in yourself, and I think creating something that is meaningful to you. I think those are all important things.
I want to say one more thing. Earlier today, I mentioned my Spanish teacher, and I said that she was mean. And I'm just worried that Miss Montgomery, I didn't think you were mean. I thought you were awesome. Thank you for everything you taught me. At the beginning of every Spanish class, she would always pray. And she'd always start with, gracias por tu presencia. And so I don't know if that phrase works for a room full of people, but from us to you guys, gracias por tu presencia. We appreciate you. Thank you guys. Yep. We don't have to translate that. They got that.